Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are tackling something I know is deeply, deeply frustrating for so many people. We're calling it the alchemy of wealth. Because, if you've ever felt like you are working harder, earning more money, but somehow you're just not getting any richer, well, you are absolutely in the right place. Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to imagine a scenario. And honestly, this might hit a little too close to home for some of us. You're getting the promotions, right? You're putting in the extra hours, your salary is steadily going up. But year after year, true wealth just feels entirely out of reach. I mean, shouldn't hard work equal wealth? Let's figure out exactly why it doesn't. It really comes down to this frustrating reality. The biggest money mistake almost everyone makes isn't earning too little. Not at all. It's actually spending way too much of what you earn. So today, we're going to break down exactly why this happens and, far more importantly, how to fix it. Section 1. The income illusion. Now, what's really interesting about this is that so many people falsely believe a six-figure salary automatically makes you rich, right? But we have to separate two concepts that we usually treat as the exact same thing. Income is simply the cash flowing in from your labor, but wealth? Wealth is the money you actually keep and grow. You can have a massive income and absolutely zero wealth if it all just flows right back out the front door. To really put that into perspective, and this is shocking, a person earning $50,000 a year can become incredibly wealthy. Meanwhile, someone earning $500,000, they might stay entirely broke. Seriously, if the higher earner spends it all, they're broke. But if the modest earner saves and grows it, they are building actual wealth. Which brings us to Section 2, the lifestyle inflation trap. So where does all that extra money actually vanish to when you finally get that well-deserved raise? Well, it gets swallowed whole by lifestyle inflation. This is basically the phenomenon where your spending rises perfectly in step with your income. Instead of taking that extra money to create lasting wealth, you make more, so you subconsciously decide, hey, I need to spend more. And this brilliantly illustrates how it happens. It's in stages. Step 1, you get a raise. Step 2, suddenly your perfectly fine apartment feels a little small, so you upgrade to a bigger house. Step 3, well, a nice house requires a nicer car in the driveway to match, right? And boom, step 4, you're right back to living paycheck to paycheck, just with much, much fancier monthly bills. Moving on to Section 3, the alchemy of assets. So the crucial point here is that wealthy people think entirely differently. They invest first. They buy assets. Now, an asset is simply a vehicle that generates income or increases in value over time. Instead of buying things that immediately lose value, like that brand new car off the lot, wealthy individuals direct their income toward things that will actually eventually pay them back. Let's make this super concrete with a few examples straight from our sources. We're talking stocks, ownership in businesses, real estate, and index funds. The absolute beauty of these specific vehicles is that they aren't just a one-time purchase that you consume and forget about. No, these assets continue producing value, generating cash flow, or steadily growing in worth for decades on end. Basically, they do the heavy lifting for you while you sleep. Section 4, why saving alone isn't enough. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, okay, I'll just hoard cash in a savings account under my mattress. Problem solved. But let's compare the two approaches. While having an emergency cash fund is definitely vital, keeping all your money completely idle actually means it loses value over time because everyday economic inflation literally eats away your purchasing power. Investing, on the other hand, puts your money into assets that have the potential to grow faster than inflation. And that is how you achieve true long-term wealth. Let's look at Section 5, the invisible power of time. Let's move to and see how this builds, because the most magical element in this entire equation actually isn't the money itself, it's time. When you make early, consistent investments, they don't just add up, they multiply. This is the sheer impact of compound growth. Your gains from year 1 earn their own gains by year 10, and then they dramatically build upon themselves by year 20. Decades later, time has turned a modest, steady strategy into an absolute explosion of wealth. Section 6. Building financial freedom. You see, true financial freedom is never an overnight event, right? It's not a lottery ticket or a get-rich-quick scheme. It is the quiet culmination of small, mastered habits repeated over a lifetime. You just need to spend less than you earn to kill that lifestyle inflation. Invest consistently, avoid the absolute anchor of unnecessary debt, and let time do the heavy lifting. When you combine these seemingly ordinary habits, they create truly extraordinary financial results. As we bring this explainer to a close, let's look at this definitive summary. The real mistake isn't your salary. The real mistake is failing to convert your income into wealth. Remember, the core thesis here: your income is fragile. It can disappear in a flash if you lose your job or just can't work. But properly managed assets endure. They are the financial foundation that stands strong, literally no matter what happens to your daily 9 to 5. So I want to leave you with this final provocative question to really think about. Will your assets keep working when your paycheck stops? If the answer right now is no, hey, that's entirely okay. You now have the knowledge and the structural understanding to change that. I highly encourage you to take a hard look at your own financial habits and deeply rethink exactly how you manage your very next paycheck. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep building those assets, and we'll see you next time.